Good morning, everyone. Uh, I am assigned reporter this week, and my topic is all about sea sponge. So, sea sponge or Spongia vicinalis, better known as variety of bat sponge, is commercially used sea sponge. Individuals grow in large lobes with small openings and are formed by a mesh of primary and secondary fibers. It is light gray to black in color. It is found throughout the Mediterranean Sea up to 100 meters deep on rocky or sandy surfaces. Its taxonomic classification: Kingdom Animalia, phylum Porifera, class Demospongiae, order Dictyocipatidae, family Spongidae, genus Spongia, species Piscinales. And its characteristics is sponges differ from other animal phyla by their unique positions of five distinct features: choanocytes, water canal, stem, organic and inorganic skeletons, totipotency, plasticity. Sponges can live in both warm and cold water as well as both deep and shallow water. They aren't picky as long as they are in salt water. Sea sponges can only survive in salt water, so if you put them in fresh water, they will actually quickly die. Sponges have specialized cells and in the skeleton, but they lack tissues and body symmetry. Many live on coral reefs and have symbiotic relationships with other reef species. Cnidarians are aquatic invertebrates in phylum Cnidaria. So these are parts of sea sponge na familiarize. Its ecology of sponges are critical components of the ecosystem of coral reefs, where they provide shelter for a variety of organisms, including shrimp, crabs, and algae. They are also a source of food for many sponge-eating fish species. On top of that, being natural and biodegradable, sea sponges are actually a sustainable resource. Sponges are harvested in a way that allows them to regrow even after they have been harvested. Distribution of sponges are found worldwide. From the polar regions of the tropics, sponges are more abundant but less diverse in temperate waters than in tropical waters, possibly because organisms that prey on sponges are more abundant in tropical waters. Although abiotic factors may be important, first order filters dictating which sponge species can thrive a particular site, ecological interactions can play substantial roles influencing distribution and abundance, and thus diversity. Ecological interactions can modify the influence of abiotic factors both by further constraining distribution and abundance due to competitive or predatory interactions, and by expanding habitat distribution or abundance due to beneficial interactions that ameliorate otherwise limiting circumstances. Life cycle. Life cycle of sponge in temperate regions live for at most a few years, but some tropical species and perhaps some deep ocean ones may live for 200 years or more. Some calcified demosponges can grow by only 0.2 millimeters per year, and if the rate is constant, specimens 1 meter wide must be about 5,000 years old. Production. Sponges may reproduce sexually and asexually. After fertilization in the sponge, a larva is released into the water. It floats around for a few days and then sticks to a solid to begin its growth into an adult sponge. Sponges are also be able to reproduce asexually through budding. Importance in sponges important in ecological and economic. First, ecological. Sponges can remove up to 95% bacteria and particles from the water and 90% of dissolved organic carbon, thereby converting suspended particles and dissolved matter into food for other animals. 297% of the diet can be dissolved matter. Sponge is a tool or a cleaning aid made of soft, porous material, typically used for cleaning impervious surfaces. Sponges are especially good at absorbing water and water-based solution. In economic, sponges serve as protective houses for animals like crustaceans, mollusks, small fishes, etc. In addition to the protection, the animals that live inside the sponge get a rich food supply from the water circulating through them. Sponges are critical components of the ecosystem of coral reefs, where they provide shelter for a variety of organisms including shrimp, crabs, and algae. They are also a source of food for many sponge-eating fish species. Status and trade in aquaculture. Sponges, an important part of the reef ecosystem, are of commercial value for public aquaria, pharmacology, and chemistry. With a growing demand for sponges, natural resources are at risk of being overexploited. Growing of sponges in artificial or semi-natural farms is an alternative. In this study, different farming methods were tested on two Indo-Pacific sponge species, Neopetrosia and Stylicia massa. Survival, growth, and attachment ability were observed with different substrates, suspended roofs, coral builders, and artificial substrate. Two types of aquaria with different water volume and two different field sites in Indonesia. The two species responded differently to their individual locations and environmental stress. Survival, growth, and attachment rate of Neopetrasia at the field site are depending on the cultivation method. We found highest volume increment 27 to 35 degree for a horizontal line in the field, whereas the volume increase for Esmosa did not show any differences for the different plantation methods. Neopetrasia is generally showed higher rate than Esmosa. Further, aquaria experiments, for example, on nutrient supply, should be tested to receive more detailed data about sponges, particularly because almost all fragments of both species showed a decline or steady state in mean length. Threats. Sponges are not on the endangered species list. However, there are threats of their habitat. Some areas due to factors such as pollution, disease, exploitation, and hurricanes. Laws and governing. Fisheries Administrative Order Number 46. Subject regulations governing the gathering of sponge. Pursuant to the provision of Section 438 to 250, Article 7 of Act Number 4003, as amended, and of Section 4 of Republic Act Number 177, the following rules and regulations governing the gathering of sponge are hereby promulgated for the information of guidance of all concerned. Section 1. Definition. For the purpose of the administrative order, the term sponges shall be construed as marine products belonging to phylum Porifera, skeletal framework after washing of its soft tishy matter is composed or resilient horny fibers of sponging, capable of absorbing water without losing their toughness. Section 2. Activity to gather or collect sponges. No person, association, or corporation shall be allowed to take, gather, remove, purchase, after expose for sale, transport, shape and export sponges except under license duly issued in accordance with this order. So that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening.